Creating a school virtual map, using QR codes to bring a school's floor plan to life. Now, the first thing that I've done here is I've scanned our floor plan for school. Now, you may have a different way of doing this. Initially, when I scanned it, it became a PDF. So I simply used the snipping tool to take a screenshot of the image. And as you can see, when I click on it, it's an image that I can then resize. I'm going to use Word so that I can add new images and information to it. So it's up to you how you do that part. That's the way that I did it. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to Layout. Once I've chosen Layout, I'm going to change the size to an A3. The reason I'm doing that is it gives me a larger space to use, but also it gives me a larger place to add a QR code, because I'm going to add the QR codes directly onto this. Now, you don't want your QR codes to be too small, otherwise it will make it difficult for people to be able to scan them on their mobile or their devices. Okay, our next step is opening up a QR Creator website. Now, the one I've got here, you can see the address is qrcreator.com, and this is a free website to use. There are alternatives out there, and if you would rather go straight to uploading an image and turning that into a QR code, that's also there too. The ones I have found, unfortunately though, require registration. Now, initially that may be a 14-day free trial, or it may be a shorter period, but unfortunately a lot of these are paid websites. So if you do go for a free trial, remember to use your own private email address, but also that don't worry if you have uploaded anything to that. Your QR codes usually last about 3 years on these sites. So even when your 2-week trial is finished, you will still have your QR codes working. And that's just if you want to skip the next step that I'm going to show you. But I think you'll see that it is actually quite straightforward. Okay, so we need somewhere to host a photograph to create a URL, right? The easiest way to do this is by using your OneDrive. Now, I've uploaded some photos the way that I always would. I'm just going to upload and taking it from either my phone if I was using it on my phone, or if I've uploaded photos to my computer, I would just take it from that device. So you can see that I've uploaded lots of photos. When you click on these 3 dots, it will give you some options. Now, if you are not sure what all those numbers are, and you can see that's the way my device has uploaded them as image 202 and so forth, you can choose to preview it, you can choose to rename it, and that's what I've done with the first 2, just simply so I can see which ones I'm using. So I am going to share this now. So remember, you can go to preview and that will tell you what the image is, and then rename. At the moment, I'm just going to go to share, and it's my dining hall image that I'm sharing. Now, once this comes up, you'll see that there's a few different options. Remember, you're sharing this with your full school community, so you need to be able to share this with anyone. So that's why we're choosing anyone with a link. I'm not setting a password or an expiration date. I'm going to then click apply. I'm not adding in email addresses because again, it's going out to a full community. I'm going to choose copy link. And that's me now created a URL. So I can go back to my site creator there. Okay, there it is. And this is my QR creator. So I can now paste that address in. Now remember, when you saw it, it was a massive address. If I click shorten, it becomes a bit.ly. Now you might wonder why that's important. When someone scans a QR code, quite often the website comes up and that's the one they choose. I think it would be easier if they just see the shortened one rather than the massive SharePoint option. And it also may reassure people if they see a bit.ly code, because they know that's familiar to them, whereas that really long address may scare them off a little. So I'm going to then download it. And then I'm going to go to Save As. And once I have opened up my files, I've made up a map for it, and you can see that I've done a QR code already. So this one is Dining Hall, and it can be a PNG file. Now, don't worry, because we can still insert that into our Word document, so don't panic about that. I'm just going to press Save. You can see though down here that you can change that to JPEG. But either one will work with our Word document. Okay, we're not going to open that just yet, we don't need it. So that is the easiest way I would say for doing that. The alternative is that you would use a blog. Now, if you have a blog already, then you need to make sure that that is open to the public. Now, I'm going to show you the one with our Moorfoot main website. We have a couple. This is our main website. I'm going to show you this option. If you wanted to create your own blog, remember there doesn't need to be anything on it. We're just using the library to give us a place to host the photos. So even when I share these photos, I'm not sharing the full blog or the full website. I am just simply sharing a link to a photo. That's it. So you don't really need to worry about people accessing things or seeing things that they shouldn't. That's not going to happen here. We're just finding a different way from our SharePoint to upload media. So I'm going to go to my dashboard and then media library. When I go to media library, you'll see all the images I already have. I've already added our dining hall one. I'm going to just add a new one so that you can see some options here. We've got select files. Just give that a moment to upload. And there's our folder opening just now. I'm going to add in, we've got dining hall, I'll have playground. We'll have playground here just now. And that's just uploading. Once that's uploaded, actually I'll just click on this photo just now so that you can see what it looks like. Once you've clicked on the photo, you'll see that there is a URL address because that is now hosted onto your blog. It's just an alternative to your SharePoint if you would like to have it in a place that you could possibly transfer to your website as well. So really what I'm saying here is if you want to add it to a floor plan and add it to your school website, it's giving you a couple of options there, okay? So I am just going to start at the beginning of this address and I'm just going to copy the full link. Let's see. Go. That other one is just uploaded there, so we'll use this one. Okay, that's the playground. I'm just going to copy that. And then I'm going to go back to my QR creator. I'm going to delete that old one. I can either press backspace or the X. I'll paste that new one in. I'll shorten the URL again, and then I'll download it as I did before. Now this time I'm going to download it as a JPEG. It doesn't make any difference for what we're using it. And then I'm going to press save as, and I'm going to put it in the same place. And this one is playground. So playground QR. There we go. Okay, we're not going to open that just now. And then I would keep repeating that until I had all of my images. So that is via your SharePoint or via your media library. Okay, so that's a couple of options to get those URLs. Now I'm going to go back to my Word document and I'm going to enter those QRs, okay? So we're going to go to Insert, Picture, and I'm going to do it from this device. We'll just give it a few moments to upload. There we go. There is my map folder that I've been saving things into. I want my playground QR, so I'm going to insert that. Now, straight away, you can see that it's inserted the image. I want to be able to move that, and I would just do this the way I would, as always, with a Word document. I'm just going to go to Wrap Text. I'm going to put it in front of text, and that allows me to move it wherever I want to. Now, the playground area that I really want them to see is over in this area because I want to be able to direct my parents and pupils to the area where they would line up and the area that they would be picked up at the end of the day. So I think that would be just a little bit higher, so I'm going to put that here. Now, you can always add in a text box to explain what that is, but when they receive this printed out and they scan that QR code, it will give them all the information. Now, I might have a title here, area to line up and pick up. So if I want to do that just now, I'll just show you very quickly. Insert, text, text box. And that lets me just edit it a little bit more and add some more detail to it for any person who is not familiar with your layout of the school. Okay, so it's just giving me a wee text box. I'm just going to change that to playground. I'm going to just enlarge it just so that you can all see when you're watching this video. Okay, playground. Now, I might have an arrow. I might have some more URLs so that they can see it. I've actually taken a few photos of the playgrounds from different angles so that they can see what it looks like when they're walking up the playground and when they're looking down, just to give them a few different options. Then I've got my haul from earlier as well. So I'm going to go to Insert Picture, this device. Let's see, haul QR code, insert. And that one is my gym haul. Oh, we'll just use that text wrap again in front of text. And look, it's actually covered up the sign saying gym haul. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to insert a text box again. And this time, what I'm going to do is I am going to add in here that it is the haul. Again, I'm going to just increase the size, but if I went to 100%, you would see that that is actually quite clear just now. I'll do that just to give you a wee chance to look at it. And I'm going to just increase the size. Now I've used just a text box, and then I'm going to add in an arrow, but obviously you could choose different ones to fit with your own, just so that they know what they are looking at. And we'll just connect those two. Okay, so once you've done that, I would recommend then you taking your device to check that your QR codes are in the right place, because obviously as you're uploading them, you may have chosen the wrong image. I'm just going to shape that format of it and just make it a little bit thicker, just so that it can't be missed. There we go. Now you can change around to your own personal preferences here, but the main thing is just knowing how to create a QR code and adding it into a floor plan. As I was saying there, I would check it. Most phones and tablets, if you go to the camera option, then you would simply use a camera and rather than take a picture, just take it to the screen and it will automatically scan that QR code and give you the address. So I'm going to create a video for our parents and pupils once our map is finished so that they know how to use QR codes. Okay, thanks very much for listening.